Hey there, and welcome. So, have you ever found yourself completely tangled up in that web of O's and A's when you're trying to say where someone is from in Spanish? Well, trust me, you are not alone, and you've come to exactly the right place. We're going to unravel this whole thing together.
Right? It's one of the first things that really trips people up. You think you've learned a word, like Americano, and then all of a sudden you hear someone say Americana. Why does it have to change? Well, that one question actually gets right to the heart of a fundamental, and actually pretty simple, rule in Spanish grammar.
And I promise you, it's so much simpler than it looks. We're going to break it all down step by step. And by the end of this, you are going to be using Spanish nationalities with total confidence, for real. Ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, so what's the big secret? It's this one thing. In Spanish, nationalities are treated as adjectives. They're describing words. And once you really get that single idea, everything else is just going to click into place.
So what does that actually mean? Well, adjectives are describing words, right? And in Spanish, these words are kind of like little chameleons. They have to change to match the noun they're describing. Think of it as Spanish wanting everything in the sentence to be in harmony. So they have to agree in two ways: gender, so male or female, and number, singular or plural. This is our golden rule for everything that follows.
All right, let's kick things off with the most common pattern. And honestly, if you master this one rule, you are about 80% of the way there because it covers a huge number of nationalities.
And the pattern is beautifully simple. You ready? If a nationality ends in the letter O, that's the masculine form. To make it feminine, you just swap that O for an A. That is it, seriously. And you can really hear this pattern in action. Just listen. A man from Mexico is Mexicano. A woman, Mexicana. An Italian man is Italiano. An Italian woman is Italiana. A man from India is Indio. A woman is India. See how that works? It's simple, and it's predictable.
Of course, you know Spanish loves its exceptions. But don't you worry, these aren't just random. They actually follow very clear patterns of their own. So let's take a look at the other common endings.
We can break down most of the other nationalities into just two main groups. The first group is for those that end in "es," and the second is for nationalities ending in "a" or "e." Let's just tackle them one by one.
For our first special case, the rule is just as straightforward. If the masculine form ends in "s," and you got to notice that little accent mark on top, the feminine form simply becomes "esa."
And this just shows the pattern perfectly. A Frenchman is francés, but a French woman is francesa. A Japanese man is japonés, a woman is japonesa. An Englishman is inglés, a woman is inglesa. The rhythm changes just a little bit, but the rule is totally consistent.
Now for the second special pattern. And I have some great news for you. This one is the easiest of all. These are what I like to call the no-change nationalities. They stay the same no matter who you're talking about. Check these out. Many of the nationalities that end in E or a stressed E are in this group. A Canadian man is canadiense. And guess what? A Canadian woman is also canadiense. It doesn't change. Same for estadounidense, costarricense, marroquí, and israelí. One word fits all genders. How great is that?
Fantastic work. You've totally got gender agreement down. Now, let's go ahead and tackle the second part of our golden rule, number. How do we talk about more than one person? The rules for making plurals are super logical. If the nationality ends in a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, you just add an S, so Indio becomes Indios. Easy. If it ends in a consonant, you just add ES, so francés becomes franceses. And this is a universal rule for plurals in Spanish, so it's a super useful one to remember for everything.
Okay, so you know the words, you know how they change. Now it's time to actually put them to work. How do we build a sentence to say where someone is from?
It all comes down to this really simple three-part formula. You start with your subject, the who. Then you add the correct form of the verb ser, which means to be, and you finish with the nationality, just making sure it agrees with your subject. So that middle block, the verb ser, is absolutely crucial. Let's do a super quick refresher. If you're talking about yourself, you say soy. To someone else, eres. For a he or she, it's es. For we, it's somos. And for they, it's son. Got it? Great.
Now let's see the whole formula in action. To say he is German, you've got the subject, el, the verb, es, and the nationality, alemán. Now for she is Japanese, the nationality has to change to match her. Ella es japonesa. Perfect. And here's a really key point. If you have a mixed group of men and women, Spanish always defaults to the masculine plural. So we are Mexican is somos mexicanos.
You are doing an amazing job. To really make you sound like a natural, let's quickly cover a few pro tips to help you avoid the most common mistakes that pretty much all learners make.
Okay, 3 top tips to remember. First, and this is a big one for English speakers, nationalities in Spanish are not capitalized, always lowercase. Second, always remember to make the gender agree with the person. And third, resist that urge to just use the English word. It's soy francés, not I am French.
And one last pro tip on those little accent marks. They are not optional decorations. They're like a roadmap for your pronunciation, telling you exactly which syllable to put the stress on. So it's japonés, not japonés. It's alemán, not alemán. Hearing that stress, it makes all the difference.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in a really short time. So to make sure all of this sticks, let's wrap it all up with a final cheat sheet that puts all the key info in one place for you.
So let's put it all together. Here's your final recap. Number 1, nationalities are adjectives, which means they must agree. Number 2, the main pattern is simple. O for masculine, A for feminine. 3, watch for those special patterns like es becoming esa and those no change words. 4, to make them plural, just add s to vowels and es to consonants. And finally, always use them with the verb ser and never, ever capitalize them.
All right, now it's your turn. Based on everything we've just covered, how would you correctly say she is Japanese in Spanish? Think about the subject, the verb, and that special ending. You got it? The answer is ella es japonesa. See? You've totally got this. Thanks so much for joining me.